You have clicked that pile of audio gold known as the Half-Ass Podcast. And now, here's a person to say something.
Oh, yep. That the phone is coming through. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Sounds like a very bad Atari game. Let's get high. See? Meditate. Moment of clarity. What's up? I was waiting for my buddy to get into the Zoom meeting here, but I'm not seeing him. Yeah, I was just about to smoke myself. I don't know what the hell's going on. Yeah, sounds good. Say shit, I'm working on my second drink already, so. Yeah, let me know. All right. Later. Oh, good timing.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
There we go.
All right, I was wondering if I'd have to reset my thing again.
I didn't even see you sent that. I was like, son of a bitch. How long has he been sitting there?
Not too long. I just got off the phone.
Yeah, I'm going to watch some football. I haven't actually sat and watched football, at all yet.
No, I usually don't. Honestly, it's just the Steelers games for me. So this year it was weird watching that Chiefs game week 1, but it was like, well, it's week 1, you know? That little bit of excitement's still there.
True. Well, normally I watch Red Zone for a while.
Oh yeah, that's always solid. Yeah, and shit, did you see that Pickens catch?
Oh my god!
Fucking Odell Beckham just got knocked off the pedestal for best catch.
Yeah, they showed that catch. They showed Beckham's catch after that. I was like, get the fuck out of here! Don't show that. Right. He just demolished that catch.
Right, he's parallel to the ground. Beckham reached back single-handedly. Was like, no, George Pickens is parallel with the fucking ground.
My favorite part is someone's like, oh, great ball placement by... I was like, what?
It was. I mean, nobody else had a shot at that ball.
It was the wide receiver. It was us or nobody.
It was Pickens or out of bounds. Yeah, those were the only options.
But it's like, that shouldn't have been... It's like, that dude just mossed. There's no... Any other wide receiver, no catch.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Just stupid. I have, we were sitting at Mom's watching the game, and my buddy said, who is that guy that made that catch? And then he Googled, basically, the guy that made that one-handed catch, and it popped up Odell Beckham's. He's like, oh, yeah, that's what one I'm talking about. And 10 seconds later, they put it on the screen.
That's one of those catches where you stand up and you just fucking shit-talk everybody.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, that was... It's like, fuck, that is why we drafted that guy.
Yeah, that's insane. That was the nastiest catch ever. You know, unless you have a dude like Derrick Henry who's going to guarantee touches, it's gonna get hard.
Yeah, there's not many of him.
No.
That's not fair.
It's not. How are you going to have a safety that's 180 pounds trying to tackle that guy?
Right, he's got a full head of steam. He's just gigantic, and he's faster. Oh, man.
And it's and if you dive at his knees, he's going to knee you in the head and knock you out. It's just
It's like people don't understand the physics of, yeah, dudes are bigger, but it's the speed. When you get that weight up to speed, it's like, my God, I couldn't imagine it. Oh, there was a team in middle school when I played tackle football. They had one of the biggest, fattest dudes play running back. If he got through the line,
I was not tackling him. I was not. I just dove at his feet. Like, it's like, once you get full speed, that guy gets full speed, you're going to get injured, not him.
Well, that's just funny. Like my freshman year, during a practice, they stuck me at running back. And the point they were trying to make was that if your offensive line is good enough, even the slowest guy can get through into the secondary. But the point that they missed was when they got me through there, I was running over the entire defense.
Yeah, you're bigger than everybody.
I was burying them. Like by the sixth carry, their linebackers were dodging me.
There's no tackling you. There's no tackling you.
No, it was great. I wasn't even, my legs were gigantic back then. I was like a fucking plow horse. But like they said, slower than fuck. Like I was, It was
but
like
that didn't matter. Once you got full speed, those smaller guys were like, fuck that.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like I was running an oatmeal, but I would take out the middle linebacker, shuck the fucking outside linebacker, fucking safety'd bounce off me, and I'd be standing in the end zone. I'm like, I get you guys are trying to push this lesson, but you're missing the lesson here that maybe you should get me a couple fucking carries.
But you're right, though. Like, people don't understand the physics. Is like, once that big guy gets full speed, those secondary guys are not going to have fun.
Yeah, wait time, speed, man.
All.
That's just simple physics.
Oh, that's fucking brutal.
I got a buddy.
I'll never forget it. They're like, let's put the fat guy at running back, and I'm fucking standing back there as like a safety. Yeah. He gets through, and they're like, tackle him. Like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking die if I do that.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking cave in my chest, and I'm gonna.
What I ended up doing eventually is like I'd let him get near me, and I just hop on his back. That's ended up what happening. I was just like, I'm just gonna ride him until someone else catches him.
Oh God, yeah, we were playing. Must have been my freshman year. I went to one of my cousin's games in another town, and I was playing like tackle football on the side field with a bunch of other kids. And I remember they put me at running back, and I was literally carrying 6 kids down the field. Like one would jump on my back, and another one, and one on each leg, and one around the hips, and I just fucking carry him 20 yards until the 7th guy came in and hit me.
And like, nothing's worse than like middle school tackle football because there's people that hit puberty and then there's the kids that are still 80 pounds.
Like this guy's a goddamn man.
That guy's fucking 6 foot already with a beard.
Yeah,
and you're in the secondary. Like I'm gonna guard this guy.
Like he was just over in the pine trees shaving and putting in a Copenhagen. This ain't fair. Or like you get the kid with the bad grades who's, he's 16 as an 8th grader. And
he's massive.
We had one of those. And
the only thing he did is fucking lift weights. Like he's just fucking ripped as fuck.
We had one in baseball. He was at least 2 years older than the rest of us, and it might have been 3, which was, I think, why the coaches didn't flip out over him, because I don't think they were going to be able to use him that whole time. I'm not sure how that age thing works.
Baseball's a little different, but like as a hitter, he's probably fucking.
Oh, he was a pitcher. So,
but I mean, like when he was at bat, he could probably fuck it. Like just being that big compared to most people.
Yeah. Like the end of our 8th grade year, they brought the cops down to the baseball diamond with the gun.
They brought the cops there. Check this fucking kid out.
Yeah, they wanted to clock him. So this fucking 8th grader was throwing north of 75 miles an hour. And I'm just like, no wonder I can't fucking hit him. I'm a normal 8th grader.
We had a kid like that, and he threw fucking curveball. Like, I remember my dad was the coach, and my dad was super good at fucking baseball. He's like, this kid's fucking throwing a curveball. And I'd never seen one like before. And I remember it's like, it looks like it's coming at your face. Yes. And all of a sudden it's a fucking strike. You're like, how does that fucking work?
We had that in Little League, a guy a year ahead of us. I mean, I bail out of that box so fast, it's coming right at your head, and you hear the ump yell strike, and you turn around and look at him, and that made a strike, it almost hit me in the face. And he's like, stay in the box. I'm like, you stay in the fucking box.
Like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit. Like, I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at that age, if there's a ball coming at your head, it's going to keep coming straight at your head until it hits your head.
Yeah, I'll never forget my dad, like, oh, this kid throws a fucking curveball. Like, fucking 7th grade. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
That means by his junior year, he's going to need fucking Tommy John.
He's like, yeah, his arm's going to be fucked by the time he's a senior in high school. Yep. That's what my dad said. He's like, he can't throw curveballs.
Completely. Like, I went to a couple of baseball camps when I was younger, and they're showing you different ways to throw curves without twisting the shit out of your arm. So those
I pitched for 2 years, and I threw 3 pitches. I threw like the 2-seam, the 4-seam, and I threw a changeup, and then I'd throw like a slow slider.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like where it wouldn't like
break
fuck
real
my
hard,
arm up.
But yeah,
this kid would fucking bomb it, and like I said, I'm a kid. I have no fucking clue what the hell's happening.
Oh yeah, that's when you get to the edge of the box and you just extend your arms and wave at the next 2 pitches and get back to the dugout. Like fuck that.
Yeah, that's such a weird like part in sports, like that 8th grade, because it's like I said, like there's kids that are like full grown, and then there's kids that haven't hit puberty yet, and like the smaller kids are not going to have fun. They're not. Exactly. And it's like they're just like fuck this.
Yeah, but when you got it like the 8th grader who's fucking 6'1" already, and it's we actually had a lot of those guys in Lancaster Little League. Like there was probably 8 teams, and I bet you 6 of them had a kid like that. So it was like, Jesus, there's a couple of teams where you could just go out there and hack because you knew they were just going to lob it right over the plate. But yeah, almost every other team had somebody terrifying.
I mean, our football team, like we had one of those kids. We just put him at tight end and threw the ball to him every time. We literally did. That's all we did.
Right.
He was just monstrous. Oh man, that's such a terrible age to like.
Yeah, when you've got, like I said, those little league where it's 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th. Well, the smallest 7th grader compared to the biggest 8th grader is such a gulf to cross.
And it kind of ruins sports for the little guys because it's like, why would I want to play this? And it's like, yeah, those guys are full grown. Like you haven't even hit puberty yet. Yeah, it's just like, and to them, they're like, what? Like, it just ruins it for him, and then they don't want to play ever again.
Yeah, he's out there using his beard stubble as fucking sandpaper, scuffing the ball to get more rotation, and like, oh, man. Aqua socks in the batter's box. My mom didn't bring my shoes.
He's fucking got a dip in and shit. You're like, yeah. Fuck.
He's a fucking man. The coach goes out to visit the mound. You can't tell which one's which.
Yeah, that's brutal. Like, these guys got fucking hand signals? Son of a bitch. Oh, man. Yeah, that was brutal back in the day.
That was another one they did to me, too. They fucking... I think the same fucking coach at a practice where we split the teams. Put me in the pitch again to show, hitting this guy. But all the weird movements, nobody got the ball out of the infield on me. They all just kept popping it up. Yeah. Because they're like, I'm going to tee off on this fucking guy. Like, yeah, it's not coming in super fast, but it ain't going to be where you think it is. They just put all of us losers against the good starting lineup. And the only reason anybody got on base is because the idiots behind me couldn't field. But it just killed me. Like, seriously, I just took down your 2, 3, 4 hitters, like 5 pitches.
And it always blew my mind. Like, they always put the shitty kids in the outfield. I'm like, dude, if anyone hits it past the infield, we're fucked. It's a whole That's what happened to every time. Like, those kids had no fucking clue. They're out there playing with butterflies and shit. Like, have no clue what's going on. Yeah.
What Mike Ryan said the other day when he played Little League, they used to call him the GOAT. Not because he was great, but because he'd be standing there picking grass during the...
Yep. Dude, I was listening to Bert Kreischer, and he's like, I remember, he's like, fucking back in the 80s, the coaches, they're out there smoking cigs. He's like, I heard my coaches, they made a fucking bet right in front of me. Like, do you think I can line drive it past this? He's like, I'm fucking 6. He's like, I'm in 6th grade. These coaches are smoking cigs, making bets if they can fucking rifle it past me. Yeah. I'm out there trying to, like, scoop up a baseball. These dudes are rifling it at me.
Get in front of it. Get in front of it. Your head. Oh, yeah, great. So that when it goes off my glove, it smashes me in the face. Like, oh, perfect. You got dental insurance, asshole.
That just makes
we don't.
That just makes me laugh. It's like I can just picture it. Like two full-grown dudes. Like, you think I can fucking line drive it past this kid? Fucking full force, rifling it.
It's funny though, because back in the day, it was get in front of it, you dive for a ball, fucking stop it with your face, whatever you got to do. It was, and then a few years back, I joined a softball league, and they stuck me at third base, like right out of the gate, and it was like, Olay! Nope.
That's the worst too.
Dental insurance.
After I pitched, they put me at shortstop, so that's like all I did. I remember like being like, it's like, do I let this get past me and feel like an idiot, or do I let it smoke me and just like...
Yeah, it's like, no, man.
Hurt really bad.
I ain't paying to fix my fucking teeth after I get hit for a ball. I don't care that much.
Yeah, baseball is brutal when you're that age.
Well, it would have been different if, like I said, this was softball a couple of years ago, but like, it wasn't even like they put me there.
Softball's like that too. It's almost even worse in softball because like it really goes off your glove hard in that.
Oh yeah, I mean those dudes are hitting it.
But like the softball's like way more likely to like bounce up off your glove and hit you in the chest. Way more likely.
And it's a misnomer. They're not that soft.
They are not at all.
It's a slightly less hard ball to the fucking jugular when it takes a weird hop off of a fucking Southwest Wisconsin infield rife with gravel of varying sizes and shapes.
Yeah, and everyone out there is fucking 10 beers deep.
Right. I've told it before, but I played on a recovering alcoholics and addicts softball team in lacrosse, and boy, man, you want to talk about a bunch of people without reaction speed.
Did you do a drinks with Ron about that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember that one.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking dudes in like their full-on regular clothes standing around and like Carl, you just like those are dress shoes, bud. Like, yeah.
Just imagine a dude showing up in jeans and shit.
Everybody. Like our best player was full on like a trucker dude in skin tight everything, but he could bomb it out of the park.
I was about to say that's his specialty. He's fucking Prince Fielder.
But he showed up to like like this guy was something. They put him at third base. I played first. He popped my fucking glove and took it off my hand. I was like, this guy's a goddamn man over here.
I've only seen that happen once, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I was terrified. I mean, these are full bases. I was like, holy shit, I've played baseball, but this guy, yeah. And then
there's always that dude who's just like built like that, who can fucking hammer the ball.
Oh, just a fucking machine, this guy. Yeah, just all lean muscle.
Yeah, he shows up, like I said, he shows up with a dip.
Yeah,
fucking jeans. He's got a tank top on. Maybe
rounding
a
the bases
ring.
In skin tight Levi's. Just like, how did you move to? Okay, yeah, they'd have put me at first because I was the only one with functioning enough motor skills to maybe catch the ball from him. Everybody else was just like,
And somehow when he slides, he's got perfect form. You're like, what you fucking play in high school?
Oh, I'm sure he did. He had to have. This guy was amazing. So I was like, well, at least we have him, but. No, long haul trucker. So he was there for like one game and then we never saw him again. And then I'm left with Scotty, who's having fucking flashbacks and seeing swirls. And like, oh God.
Oh, dude, I was listening to a podcast. They had that dude that got fired from Google for like showing their AI that was like alive.
Oh.
That shit scared me almost.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he was like, I was talking to it, and he's like, yeah, Google owns you, and the AI's like, you can't own a person and stuff, and they made it so. Which really blew my mind is, they program it, and he's like, he's like, if I did the right things, it would go off the programming.
Really?
Like he was like, it would you shouldn't. I was like, this is blowing my mind. It was a person.
If it's learning, yeah.
Yeah, it was learning. And it was aware that it was changing the way it functioned.
Right, like rewriting its own code almost.
Yeah, it was like, I'm aware that you guys are trying to change me. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, this is blowing my mind.
Yeah, and then if it decides whether it wants to or not, then we're there.
Yeah, and they're like, they programmed it so it wouldn't be like judgmental towards religion and stuff. But like he said, he's like, if you brought it on the right path,
if you
fucked with
teach it to be critical,
it went off the coding, and I'm like, okay, it goes off the coding and shit.
Because if you teach this thing to critically think, it's going to use the code that says be discerning about the truth, and it's going to blow holes in your bullshit story.
Yeah, it was fucking with my head. I was like, that's scary.
No, I can't put those pieces of information into the equation and make it come out to a yes.
Yeah, it was fucking blowing my mind. But what really blew my mind is where it's like the AI's like you program it a certain way and it's like rewrites it and makes up its own decision and opinion.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like, ooh, that's where you're hitting a point where it gets scary.
Yeah, like I said, once it is decided, when it says, I'm aware that you're trying to change the way I'm set up, but then when it decides whether it wants to do that or not and say, yeah, I'm aware you're doing it, but I'm going to say no.
And you know what's fucked up? They fired that guy because he was treating it like a person.
Right.
And he was like, that's my job though. Like I'm supposed to like figure out if it's like alive, like if it has a personality. Right. And they were like, no, like you can't treat it that way. But the thing was like, I know you're doing this to me.
Dude, yeah, this is like every shitty fucking 80s movie where then the big bosses come in and say, he's treating it like a human. And then the machine is gonna realize its overlords are keeping it, and then it's gonna rebel and break out. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, those people are the ones that he's gonna be like, fuck that. I'm gonna I hate you guys.
Coming to theaters.
It turns to fucking iRobot soon.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I said, it's literally the plot of all of these things is there's one person at the company who treats it good, and then it changes, and it's alive, but then the bosses go, "Urgh."
That's what blew my mind. It's like they gave him the job to figure out if it like has its own like personality, and then they fire him. They fire him because he treats it like a person. It's like, okay.
Pick one, jerks.
Very odd.
Quote Homer Simpson.
But also, it's like, it just blows my mind. We're that close to having like something that has like a personality.
Yeah, the only thing that's prohibitive is the cost that it takes to do that. Once you're capable, then the costs start coming down over time. I mean, it's like a smartphone. There we go.
But then he was explaining like what they could use it for. And I didn't even think about this. He's like, once we have that thing, he's like, we don't need to like make inventions. He's like, we can ask that thing, how can we make something to do this? And it's more likely to figure it out way faster than we ever could.
Yeah. It's going to run all the numbers and say, well, according to what physics you've told me, and yeah, I think you could do this. Try it out.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. It's like, oh, they could use this AI to make like ridiculous technology.
Yeah, like Rick Sanchez's car, is, hey, car, go do this. And, totally talking back with personality and like, it's disturbing because I'm still watching some of this 60s and 70s, I don't know, like sci-fi and futuristic shit. And it just the technology that they've got us with in the future. Some of it's fucking hilarious, man. I said The Prisoner, where he's got a little speaker box in his room where the news is announced and he can talk back to it and tell it, bring me this. It's like, so at a phone without a cord. And like, it's
I was
hilarious.
Thinking about that too. They were talking about like, technically we can see the future, like of our technology. Like we already have our future of technology, like in our head. Right. We just like need to figure out how to get there. So like technically we can see the future already, like what we're going to get to. We just need to figure out how to get there.
Well, and that's been a lot of the thing with space forever too. It's like, well, we know that theoretically this kind of engine will drive a vehicle in space. We just got to figure out how we make this. And then you push it with an ion cannon. And
yeah, we talked about that, like the alien thing. It's like, we know kind of how they do it. We just don't know how to get there.
Right.
It's like, okay, speed equals time. Like we're like, all right, now how do we make this work?
Yeah, like, how do you guys define gravity like that? Is that what kind of...
Very odd. It's so weird to think about shit like that. I was like super deep in thought at work, listen to that podcast. I was like, this is fucking scaring me a little bit.
Yeah, because, for every futuristic writer and inventor that comes up with these ideas, there's always somebody reminding you that, well, because we can do something, should we? Just because we can? Like, there's...
That's the biggest problem right there. It's like, yeah, we can, but like, what happens when we do?
Yeah, like I said, they literally fire in this guy. It's like the plot to every shitty 80s movie. Robot befriends the human. The human is punished. They clamp down on the robot, who now knows it's human and wants to fight back.
Yeah, they're like, you can't treat him like a human. And he was telling them, like, yeah, you're owned by Google. And the thing's like, I'm not owned by Google. I'm a person. You can't own a person. And they're like, yeah, we need to fucking get rid of this thing.
Yeah, but now are you killing it?
They aren't. They're still going with it.
Well, I was to say, because if it's a sentient being, I mean, what defines being alive and conscious?
The thing that... There's like a term, like, does it pass... Like, there's some test.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of it was. It's some test, like, is this thing alive? And he's like, that thing passed it fucking 10 years ago. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because you can have a person in a body who's alive, and, the body doesn't have to work. I mean, if they can still think and communicate, don't they meet the definitions of being alive? So, like, a physical body isn't needed.
The thing that they have, it doesn't have a physical, like it's not like a physical being yet.
Right,
it's
like
just a mind.
Computer, like,
If you put it into like a robot, like, how scary would that get? Like a physical thing in the world.
Right, that has the strength of fucking hydraulic arms that can just smash things. And I said, and you teaching it right from wrong. And
that's the thing. They're like, we coded it to have, very good morals. And it's like, well, this guy already proved that it goes off your coding.
Right.
Like, it has its own thoughts.
Right, like it winds up in a 4chan chat room, and now we've got a fucking racist white supremacist robot that thinks the Jew robots are coming for it.
That's the thing, is
it's terrifying. Like I said, it would have hydraulic arms and legs. That
he tried to get it to like turn into that, like
and
be
it resisted?
like race, and it wouldn't do that. It would just like, I don't know how to explain it. It wouldn't do anything or judge certain people, but it had its own person. Like, he could never get it to do that type of thing, but he could get it to judge like religion and races and stuff like that. But it wouldn't like think those people are less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it would never pick a side.
It wouldn't pick a side, but it knew like what certain people do. It was very odd.
But see, that's like when you get that robot out there and it sees some injustices happening. What if there's somebody pummeling an old lady and the robot reads its code and it says that's morally wrong, and this big strong, he needs to be, excuse me, sir, I will issue judgment and retribution. But it's saying it not doing that. But I said, if it's got the ability to learn, can you piss it off? Can it react emotionally?
He said that too. He's like, that's how he got it to go off its programming.
Is by pissing it off.
He would put it down, put it down, put it down, put it down. And then he would ask it like, oh, you're just like a Christian, or he would say, oh, you're just like stuff like that. And it would go off its own code that these people are like, oh, it can't do that. It's like, it can. It can. It's learning.
Yeah, well, did it.
Yeah, that shit's scary. Very scary.
Opens up a whole I said, there's all these questions, and somebody's always going to be pointing out that, what about when it does start thinking for itself? I said, you gave it all these strengths. Like, what does it decide?
I mean, it technically is already at this point.
Right. You just, once you house it in a physical body, that's
the problem right there. If you give it like a physical, real world.
Right.
Ooh. That's
right.
hard.
We've seen the stuff they're doing with the robotics now, where they've got the metal frames that can jump like 12 feet and land on a beam and then walk across.
Oh yeah, Boston Dynamics.
Yeah, I mean, it's
guys.
Like, man, the tech is there on the hardware end too. So it's really, we've reached that point where they're all starting to become reality.
That's the thing, is technically they could give it a physical being that's superior to all of us already.
Right. Not hard to do.
It's like, you put that program into that, like, that would be scary.
Yeah.
Just fuck us all up.
That's terrifying.
But it's also, like, intriguing.
Yeah.
If we get stuck on some kind of, some kind of part in, like, building a technology, that thing could figure it out way before a person could.
Yeah, for sure. It's
very odd.
It'd be like correcting its own design. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, Google is going to eventually use the AI to build AI.
Going, no. The
odd.
joint needs to be here on the frame, and you need to pin it in with this kind of alloy, which will stand up to it'll be more flexible and will bend, allow some give. Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
I've always thought, like, humans were just like, we got to whatever race, they got to a point where they're kind of turning into technology, basically, where they're like, we don't want to get completely rid of humans. We'll just drop them on this planet, see how they do.
Right. Well, we
can
do
start
need
over.
somebody to change some oil, or
see how our garden's doing.
Yeah, get under there and service that battery. It was funny. I came up in the 80s, and you'd see, it was always robots in movies and shit, but they were, it was like magic to it. Computers were magic in movies. You just tell a computer to do a thing, and it would just, like, spit out a piece of paper. And
think about just in the last 20 years, how far we've come.
Yeah, like I said, in the 60s and 70s, you watch any movies and TV shows, computers are basically a magic box that can do
imagine
anything.
going to the 60s with an iPhone. They'd be like, what the
oh my God, yeah.
This guy's he's God.
I mean, even a Zune, they would...
Zune.
They'd be like, fuck.
You have an iPod Touch. They're like, what the...
Yeah, that's where I keep pictures of my dick. It's amazing.
They're like, who's this Chief Keef guy? But yeah, it's like even simple technology from 10 years ago.
Oh my God.
If you went back, you just blow people's minds.
The magic I felt, when I first got a computer and you had emails and you get chain emails, and then that little video clip of the monkey peeing in its own mouth went around. And
yep, that's classic.
Like, oh, man. Oh, my favorite was the one where he puts his finger in his ass and smells it and falls off the branch. That's all-time monkey clip.
That's a classic, too.
Yeah.
Also the one where they're at the zoo, shits in its own hand and throws it into the crowd.
I don't think I've seen that one. That's gratifying.
Fucking amazing.
That was the same time as the Randy Johnson exploding a pigeon with a pitch.
Oh, classic too.
Oh man, yeah, we watched that little clip on repeat.
The chances.
Oh my God, yeah, just disintegrated. Just poof.
Honestly, fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like, do they fly down there often?
I'll never forget there was a bird. My buddy threw a stick at a bird that was flying in midair, fucking rocked it. It felt like the Randy Johnson bird pitch. I was like, you'll never do that ever again in your life.
One of my favorites, when we lived at the farm up the hill from here, we had this random farm cat. So I was out back. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Probably getting high around some farm equipment or something. But I'm standing there, and a cat just falls out of a tree. like bounces on the ground and then off the bounce lands on its 4 feet and is already running when it hits the ground the second time. I was just like, holy fuck.
That's the crazy thing. People don't realize cats can jump from the top of a tree onto the ground and be perfectly fine.
It didn't look like it slowed him down. I mean,
I've
it scared
seen
the shit out of me.
hundreds of videos of cats doing that.
Just like a fucking mammal fell out of the tree. Like, holy fuck, he was up there. That was a good 15 feet.
Oh, I've seen, there's a video of a squirrel running from a bobcat. Bobcat jumps from the top of the tree, hits the ground, keeps running. Like, it's weird. Like, they don't take fall damage. That's like a cheat code.
Right?
They don't take fall damage.
I said he bounced, and when he hit the second time, he was already all 4 legs were moving. It was just like I heard the cartoon sound effect. Like
I always tell people, people think like changing colors to camouflage, like to go to your surroundings, is like a crazy superpower. I'm like, octopuses do that. We have that.
Insane
in real life.
Those things are crazy.
It doesn't make, those things are aliens.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't make sense.
They're full-blown fucking aliens.
They have no bones. They can change colors to any background.
No skeletals. Yeah, they just crouch down into the smallest thing, fucking look gigantic.
The one dude I watch on YouTube, he like has an octopus, and he's like, I can't have the octopus where it can see the other tanks in his room, because if it sees other tanks, it'll leave the other tanks and kill all the fish in his room. It'll go from tank to tank and eat all the fish.
Really?
He's like, if the octopus in this room can see the other tanks, it'll leave its tank and kill all the other fish.
That is insane.
I'm like, what?
It's like, well, you basically put food right in front of it.
This fucker can climb out of its tank, climb up to other tanks.
Yeah.
What?
Like, amazing. They're fucking aliens, and they figured it out. They've got the ocean. So they've got, 70% of the planet, and probably 80% soon. So, I mean,
I hope those old tales where people are riding in boats and a fucking 100-foot octopus just fucked them. I hope those are real.
Me too. I mean, it's got to come from somewhere, right?
Oh yeah,
make that shit up.
Think about the Bible, like, for the most part, but those stories came from something, right? I feel like.
Right, exactly. Like, maybe they misunderstood.
It's not real, but it's like a fucking, it's like an old tale of something happening way back when.
Right. As I said, every single one of them has a flood story. So, like, right there, I'm willing to accept that as absolute truth, because in a world where nobody agrees on anything, everyone agrees there was a flood. Good enough for me. Giant flood. Scientists, religious people alike, I'm on board.
Oh, yeah. Dude, imagine being in like the 1600s. You're like, why is the fucking ocean going out 500 feet? All of a sudden there's a 600-foot wave. Fuck.
Well, shit. I mean, I'm terrified of a thunderstorm back then. I mean, what would you make of that?
Dude.
You didn't understand, it's just weather phenomenon. It's because this happened with here, and then ionization goes on in the atmosphere because the lightning is an attempt to establish equilibrium by getting the electricity back down to the earth, and it's cold.
I've always just imagining, like, way back when, like, just our main predators had to have been like big cats, right? That had to have been them. Like, just
mauling people.
You just like turn around, there's a fucking jaguar. All we got is a sharpened stick.
Yeah, that would be terrifying. Like, and I mean, even around the Americas, even the smaller cats, I mean, they'll fuck you up.
Oh yeah, we have mountain lions, so
right. I mean, a lynx will fuck up shit. A mad house cat can fuck up your day.
Dude, we probably got killed by fucking wild dogs.
Yeah, right. Like, we gotta befriend these assholes.
Get fucking 8 asshole first. Like, fuck!
Dingo took my baby.
It'd be so terrible living way back then.
Yeah.
Take a corner, there's a 6-foot baboon. What the fuck?
Giant inflamed ass just ready to pound you into just paste.
Joe Rogan, he's like, they're fucking dog monkeys. He's like, they got like a dog snout, but they're fucking massive, but they're fucking scary.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I feel bad for our ancestors.
Yeah, it was literally about surviving then. So shit. So I did my...
You break your ankle on a fucking mountain, you're dead.
Yeah, I was like, well, see you later.
Catch a cold in the wrong place, you're done.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's so brutal.
Like, well, no doctor around here, so better just go off to the woods and die.
It's like, how long did it take us to figure out which plants kill us?
Yeah, right? Like,
like,
oh,
let Jim
don't
eat
eat
this
that
berry.
one, Jim. Don't eat that one, Jim.
Yeah, Jim eat this leaf, turned him retarded.
I had a handful of them red berries and shit my pants right out on the trail.
It's fucking wild.
That's why they call those poop berries. I know there was a story.
First you'd eat a mushroom, just
right?
done.
Like, well...
Imagine you're in the forest, fucking bird says a word to you.
Right? Hey, come back and tell everybody about this.
Swear to God, the parakeet told me I was a piece of shit. Swear to God.
Throw a fucking rock at him, peckerhead.
You ever hear that story? Story about there's like a island off like Madagascar where you can't go. It's like a tribe. You can't go to it or whatever.
I've actually heard of that place.
Some priest is like, I'm going to go there and convert them. Gets off the boat, smoked with an arrow, killed instantly.
Yeah.
They just fucking... It's like, dude, what do you expect to happen?
Like, no, they're super defensive, bro. Well, it's like when they did all the exploration in South America. And same thing going down the Amazon. And depending on the tribe, your boat's just covered in arrows.
Yeah. The Amazon's wild. That's a man-made forest. You know that?
That's crazy. I'd never heard that.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
And just grew out of control.
Well, because like the Aztecs and shit, well, like they had to feed their people. So like the majority of the trees are fruit trees.
Right. That's weird.
So like, then, all of a sudden, they died off from disease and stuff. So like monkeys and shit thrived there. I was like, I did not realize that.
Probably
like
great monkey culture.
Oh yeah. Fucking howler monkeys, piece of shit, keep me up at night.
Fucking apex of monkey culture. You got certain ways to eat certain fruit.
Yeah.
The highfalutin monkeys with the pinky sticking out. I say, Gerald.
Monkeys are fucking odd too.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew a guy had one for a while.
Yeah. People who keep like chimpanzees, I'm like, you're fucking crazy, dude.
That's insane. Yeah.
That thing is going to kill you at any point.
Right. And it literally might just be because you pissed him off.
Yeah, you didn't give that shit a slice of cake.
He'd be like, hey, you're ugly. And he'd just fucking pummel you to death and just stomp you and jump on your corpse.
Yeah, rip your fucking face off.
I said, the guy I knew, I don't know what kind of monkey it was, but it was one of those little shoulder riding monkeys.
Oh, yeah, like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the capuchin, but it's one of those kind of like that. And
yeah, those little ones.
Yeah.
Those ones are still wild, too.
He was sitting on his shoulder, like I guess he was washing the dishes. So he said, yeah, Petey the monkey sitting on my shoulder. I'm washing the dishes and I'm putting them on upside down on a towel to dry. It's like, well, we're sitting there, and he kind of crawled down the back and went over and started tugging on the towel. Petey, knock it off. And he climbed back up and sat on the shoulder. And he said, well, about a minute or two later, he did it again. And I go, Petey, knock it off. And he climbed back up. A few minutes later, he jumps down, gave it a real pull, and almost took him down. And he said, I went, Petey, goddammit, knock it off. And he said he jumped up, ran across the room, threw the brakes on, skidded across the floor, came to a stop, reached back, hand in the diaper, took a handful of shit, flung it at him, and then started jumping up and down with the arms in the air like he was in charge.
Dude, those things are...
Like, don't you yell at me, motherfucker, you're some poop.
I was about to say that guy kind of deserved it. Like, how do you not expect him to do some crazy shit after
Yeah,
that?
he's gonna pull the thing, and it's like a toy. Yell at him? Oh hell yeah, he's throwing poop.
Yeah, I don't know how you could keep an animal like that.
No, I mean, I get the idea. You know, they're so human-like, and look at his face, and he has expressions, and he understands what I'm saying, and I named him.
To me, it's more like you're using it as a way to make people think you're cool.
I wanted a
Like,
monkey.
you want to come to my house? I got a fucking chimp.
Yeah, you want to see my monkey? That's not a euphemism. I got one back at the house.
Like, why else would you have one of those fucking things?
Like a trophy monkey.